Last year, me and my subscriber were speaking to one another on the phone, and she mentioned about how the way people behave is out of sync. Like, for example, she talked about a kid hitting his knee on the pavement and he's just laughing it off. It's out of sync. But from what I've experienced, right? As a person who's talking about multi-agent quantum AI computers and artificial mind and computational intelligence system and applying what I know about quantum, right? Quantum and human behavior and the human mind and their social skills and their communication skills. I apply and also my experience. I apply my experiences to get her to understand that there is something completely wrong with the human being's behavior, right? And I was saying that there's an artificial intelligence that manage humanity 24/7. But the purpose of this video is to actually give context about how I started out talking about the way people behave and thinking that there's something completely wrong, that there is someone behind the scenes, or you could say an outside source that makes people behave quite stupid when they're around me. It could be strangers, family members, my sister, my mom, father, teachers, professors. But anyway, this experience that I'm talking about occurred 2001, at least between 2000, no, yeah, from 2000, yeah, between 2001 and 2003. And I was around how old? 9 or 11 years old. So my mom would always take me to this park, Cunningham Park. This is located in Queens, New York City. So my mom would say, Hey, Andrew, you want to go outside?" I say, "Yeah," because that's when I started to ride my scooter around the park, and I started doing things on my own, like riding the whole entire park, riding around with my scooter, and the whole entire Cunningham Park. So something I've experienced an anomaly here. So one day, as you can see, there's a hill up there that goes up, and you can see it from here too. This is where me and the lady had. There was a lady and myself. Right, I was heading towards the lady, and she was heading towards me, and all of a sudden, she was coordinating with me as I'm heading towards her, and she's heading towards me. She's coordinating with me. So as you can see, there's more, and this is the bathroom here. And I'm like noticing something quite unusual with the way people behave. During that time, it was it's not just out. It's not just outside. It's also in school. I've experienced this type of treatment. But as the video goes on, I'll give you more context about the way I was situated. During that time of 2001 and 2003. So what I mean by earlier, I had talked about a lady, right? An African American lady who's in her early 20s started coordinating with what I do. Like, as she's heading directly towards me and I'm heading towards her. For example, when I move to the left side, so this is left. So you see this lady walking here with her dog. So she's in the center, right? She's walking at the center of she's walking at the center, and the dog is in the left side. So as I'm scootering at the center, the lady, right, that's jogging directly towards me, she stays at the center. She's coordinating with me. I noticed she started coordinating with me. So when I moved to the left side, she moves to the left side. When I moved to the right side, she moved to the left side. When I stayed at the center, she stayed at the center. Obviously, her mind is not distracted. She's not occupied with anything in her mind that distracts her from knowing how to move from left to right to stay at the center, right? She's changing positions. That's me. And as as I move left, she moves left. And then I stayed at the center. She stayed at the center. Obviously, she's coordinating with me. And she just ran right into me with my scooter. I ended up falling right here, around here. Yep, right here on the ground. So I had talked about this, several times, but I'm giving, more context about it. And the reason why I'm giving more context is to make people on this channel understand the way I was situated when I was a kid. I still have this treat. I'm still, receiving this type of treatment from people as an adult, as a 31-year-old adult. So I remember the lady. She fall down and scraped her knee on the pavement as I did too. But I'm wearing jeans. She's not. She's wearing shorts. Her skin is more exposed to getting physically damaged than me because I'm wearing jeans and she's not, right? And I saw that her knee, right, her kneecap looks all whitish and blood is coming out of it. Her skin, it's just horrible looking. It was nasty looking. And then she gets right back up and just started stomping over she stomped her shoes on my face and kept jogging away. And I'm just, looking at her. I'm staring at her like, what the heck is going on? I'm just staring in my mind. I'm like, what kind of behavior is this? She keeps jogging away, and I'm watching her just keep going straight down, jogging straight down. No, it's not this. It's not this way. It's in the right side. She keeps jogging down. Instead of so this is going all the way to so this goes from the hill. So this is a hill, and this hill goes directly up here. There's either left or there's the right side. Keeps going down and down and down. So when I'm looking at her jogging down, I'm like saying to myself, something isn't right here, right? You think about it. If you jog at this park. Suppose you was jogging in this park, right? And you're in your early 20s and you're wearing shorts, and you suddenly just I'm just trying to understand this lady's mentality, her mind, and the way she behave, right? And you're an adult, and you just all of a sudden hit the pavement, and your skin, you're wearing shorts, right? So your skin is more exposed to being physically damaged, and you notice that your legs looking nasty because you just scraped your knee, and there's whitish and blood is coming out. Wouldn't you run to the bathroom, the restroom here? She didn't. To actually get that, to actually disinfect or get some, go to the bathroom and wash off the blood out of your knee, and also put some soap. At least the soap can do some good, right? Or go to the store to disinfect the wound because it can lead to infections. You're exposing she's exposing her wound to germs. He needs to get that clean ASAP. And then this would makes it this is what tells me more about the lady's behavior and her mind, that is not 100% human, right? It's one it's looking more of 97 or 98% artificial, like robot, like very robotic. You can tell, just it's just like chat gpt, right? You ever heard of chat gpt or artificial, and bots? I don't even use the word artificial intelligence for that, because the artificial intelligence writes for the students and people. It already enhances their writing. But there's professors who can tell when a student is not writing their work. That is done by a program, a tool, that a system. But that's just a tool. But you can really tell that the way this lady's behave is robotic, and she's not thinking. She's definitely not thinking clearly. She's not under the influence of drugs because she knows when to coordinate left and right and stay at the center. She's not like, jogging like she's intoxicated or or she's high. Obviously, she's not under the influence of marijuana or any chemical substances. So I had to come to the conclusion that the mind that she had at that time, right, is automatically set to behave this way specifically towards me. And this means that it's done to other people, not just me. And they don't know how to articulate that. This means that they don't know how to articulate the way that person behave, right? Saying, "Hey, did you know that I went to the park and was riding my scooter, and all of a sudden the lady was coordinating with me." It's simple. It's really easy to articulate this experience. And I move left, she moves left, she moves right. I move right, she moves right. I stay at the center, she stays at the center, right? To articulate it. And if someone asks you a question, they'll ask you, maybe usually they would ask you questions, but sometimes I noticed that the questions is also robotic. Like it was trying to throw me, try to throw me off from actually articulating what I've experienced and say that it's just me, not thinking clearly, and this could happen to anyone. This happens to everybody, which is not the case, right? It's not the case, but I had talked about it, within a few seconds, few seconds ago, that I mentioned that it does happen to people, but they don't, they're not capable of articulating it. But anyway, to break it down and say, hey, this lady didn't bother to look at her, wounds, to look at her leg. She didn't look at her knee. I mean, she didn't look at her knee, and she's bleeding. I looked at her knee and I see blood, and she didn't bother to go to the bathroom to wipe off the blood. Why are you still jogging and your leg is bleeding? Your blood is dripping down your leg and you're still jogging. That does not look right, especially from an adult like herself. Why is it that she continues to keep jogging and she's not under the influence of no chemical substances or marijuana? She knows exactly when to pick herself up and know how to coordinate herself with me. Obviously, there's something going on here. What is the purpose of her just running into me and not even asking me, "Oh, kid, are you okay?" You know, or say or apologizing. "Yeah, I'm sorry." She just jogs away. And that's what I was trying to tell my subscriber. This is looking more artificial than human. A human being, you think a human being would just continue jogging when they know that they'll continue jogging when their legs are bleeding, their knee on the right side, their right knee is bleeding and blood is dripping down. Do you think it'll continue jogging and jogging and jogging? They're actually hurting themselves, and they're actually exposing their wound to germs, like I said earlier, and it can lead to some nasty infections. She's supposed to be an adult, and she seems to not show any concerns for her knee. You're supposed to be able to look at your knee and say to yourself, "Hey, something's not right with my knee. I need to go disinfect it." And what I did at that time, right? Since I was wearing my jeans, I got a hole in my pants, and it was bleeding. So I just scooted down here. This is the hill, and my mom is waiting around here. So there's seats right here. I scooted down the hill, and my mom is waiting right here. My mom is sitting down, and I showed my mom my wound. She said, "What the heck happened to you?" I said, "This lady, you know, she just ran into me." And continued to keep stomp. And she not only that, she picks herself up and stomped all over me. And she continues to keep jogging. She jogged away. My mom was like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" So I showed my mom the wound, and she, disinfected and put a band-aid over it because my mom is an LPN nurse. She carries band-aid and also, rubbing alcohol. She always carries rubbing alcohol because when she eats food, she always rubs her, rubbing alcohol around her, her hands, so she can disinfect. Make sure that there's no germs. When she's eating her food, she always does that. That's why she carries rubbing alcohol. I remember she always does that, and band aids. So it's crazy to know that this lady is not behaving like an adult, and she's not behaving like a human being. She's missing human features, and this is what I would talk about on social anxiety support communities. Social anxiety support community, and also Reddit. I had to articulate the way people behave, and I also apply what I've learned. And the multi-agent quantum AI computers knows that I write about, talk about what I talk about online, and it makes the people on the internet group up on me to remove the context from my post, so I can sound like I don't know how to articulate myself, or not only articulate, make it look like I can't speak English. And I was born in America. I was born in Jamaica, Queens, New York City. Make it look like I can't even speak English. Like I like they're telling me that English is my secondary language. Or they would try to correct me and say, "Oh, what word? Why you use that word? You don't understand that word. Lecture me, speak down to me." They absolutely would try to make me feel intimidated from talking. You shouldn't talk since you don't understand that word, and they understand the word. That's when I started understanding more about the artificial mind, that the AI enhances the way people think, especially when it knows that I'm giving information that is accurate on the internet. It enhances the way that people think, so they can make it look like that I'm not capable of thinking. So there's people on YouTube. There's people on YouTube called targeted individuals. They call themselves. Well, I say that the term is still disinformation. Targeted individual. They call themselves a targeted individual, and they mentioned that the people would try to fuck with their mind. They curse. I don't curse, but that's how they speak. Fuck with their mind. They're like trying to penetrate their inner thoughts. They try to feed words. They could say ciphers into their embed ciphers in their minds as they speak to penetrate their inner thoughts, and it's very personal. This is what I experienced it in real life. Besides the internet, the first place that I've experienced this was in elementary school, where my classmates would embed words into my mind, telling me that no one wants to be around me. I'm not gonna have a girlfriend. Um, what else? My face is ugly. They tell me I'm gonna be a bum on the streets and such, and no one wants to be around me. These are negative. These words induce negative thoughts for me, right? It's all ciphers, and they plug these words into trying to. They're interested in plugging these words into my mind to induce, negative thoughts, right? So they can start becoming self-conscious about how people think about me, right? That's what I started noticing. I'm like, why is it my classmates speak this way towards me? And then I used to have these repeating dreams at night, and these negative thoughts saying I'm not gonna have a girlfriend, I'm ugly, no one wants to be around me, I'm gonna be in the streets, no one gonna do anything for me, I'll be by myself. It's my fault. I'm dumb. I've experienced that for how long? From what, 2002 all the way till 2005, 6. Yeah, 2006. Over and over and over. And my classmates, they're extremely rude. At times, they're very hostile. They're ready to fight me. Just out of nowhere, they're just ready to fight me. Yeah, this is ridiculous. And they make me look like there's something wrong with me. And I'm a very quiet person. I don't even I didn't do anything to bother them. They bother me. And the teachers don't look at the situation as bullying. They seem to not understand. In a sense, their mind. I wouldn't use the word understand, or understand or not understand. Simply, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. This behavior doesn't exist in their mind. It doesn't exist in their mind at that time. They don't have no recognition of this behavior, so it's unknown. So just like when I talk about the way people behave, like articulate the way people behave and the way they think, right? On the internet, I would talk about my experiences, and someone would say to me that this behavior that you speak of is unknown. They never the person who's telling me this said they never heard of someone they never heard of this behavior before, and they're like what, 30s in their 30s. They never heard of this before. I'm like, you never heard of this behavior before? They never heard of someone behaving this way, and I'm like, wow. But to know that I experienced this when I was a kid, right? Going to the park, I can't even have fun in a park. This is a public park, and I'm being treated rotten. I can't even scooter around because everything I do, right, that makes me feel happy, I always get knocked down. Always. Everything I do. When I was a kid, during that time, right, that time, I was what, 2001 and 2003. I remember finding a new ball. I found a new ball right inside a park, not this park, but a different park. And my cousin took it away from me and peed on it. When I showed interest in interacting with my classmate, all of a sudden, the kids in my class, would tell my classmate personal things that they would share their beliefs about me to them. They have beliefs about me, and they would share it to that person. So the person would no longer be interested in being around me no more. And this also includes teachers too. Like my teacher, I had a teacher named Miss Quinones, 2003 from 2004. She told the class that I'm a liar, and I didn't lie to no one. I don't know what's going on, but she actually showed interest in telling the class that I lied, and the class said he always lied. Like this Miss Quinones wanted pity. She wanted pity from the class, from little kids in the class. She's a fourth grade teacher, and she wants pity. She wants to look pitiful in front of her students. She wants that attention to make her students say, "Oh, we're sorry. Something is wrong with this kid." And you know what Miss Quinones did? She even told my babysitter, Miss what's her name? My babysitter, Miss Mimi. She's from She's from outside of the United States. She's not. She wasn't born in the United States. She was born in a different country. Was it El Salvador, Guatemala, around one of those countries? But anyway, she spoke to my babysitter in Spanish, and she never usually do that. Miss Quinones. She doesn't speak to Miss Mimi in Spanish. She usually speaks in English. Why is it that she's speaking in Spanish? So I wouldn't be able to understand. So I wouldn't be able to listen, to understand what she's talking about, because Miss Quinones, right, have the power to talk any way she wants. She can say anything about me, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to defend myself because I don't speak Spanish. I wouldn't be able to defend myself. Would you be able to defend yourself if someone speak a different language? You would be defenseless. And the person who speaks Spanish, who's listening to the person who's speaking, so there's a listener and there's a speaker who's listening to the speaker speaking that same language, they would have the advantage than you. Doesn't matter if you had good vocabulary words. Doesn't matter if you had an understanding of the situation. And the person who she's speaking to, Miss Keon speaking to, you know, knows some English, but not that much. So Miss Quinones have the upper hand here, and I'm completely defenseless. She told the Miss Quinones told my babysitter that I don't want to work. I don't want to do my work, my homework, or my work. Knowing that Miss Mimi, right? Knowing that Miss Quinones knows I'm a really good student. She knows that I always get the student award, month award, and she spoke down to me like like there's something completely wrong with me. It's creepy, very creepy behavior. That really scares me to know that this is happening. So if I go to a foreign country, and the artificial intelligence sees me in a situation, it has the upper hand because these people who's at the country, they speak the same language and I don't. Can I use Google a translator? That's not accurate. I'm completely defenseless. Even if I had, possess such great knowledge, I'm defenseless. The people have the upper hand, even if they're not really that bright up in them. They're not using a certain percentage of their mind. They have the upper hand. I'm defenseless. So I learned as I was a kid. I was learning. I learned this early, very early, and I prepared for this situation. Knowing that I'm in a situation right now where the multi-agent quantum AI computers want me in the streets, and I've been preparing for this since I was a kid. Like trying to knowing I was self-aware, of this program since I was a little child because of the way people treat me. It's noticeable. It's too obvious. I wasn't. I always thought that there is someone out there who, manage human beings. When I was a kid, I would say, "Hey, who makes these people have sex? Who takes care of these pigeons on the streets?" I would question everything. Like I'm Curious George. Question my father and my mom. Who takes care of these pigeons? How do these pigeons know how to live? Why they don't die? How they know how to live and take care of you know their own kids? That these birds and these animals, these wild animals. How they know how to live? Who's keeping track of them? And these fish. Who? How would they know how to do that? I don't think it's naturally programmed. I think there is someone out there assisting them. That's how I started learning. So I started early, really early. For me, that's what makes me knowledgeable. I started too early because of the way I was treated. That's how I started understanding. And then when I turned 21 years old, that's when I started becoming that's when I started articulating myself and knowing how to understand context, like really have an understanding and use the words so people can understand what I'm talking about. So 21 years old, and that was 2014. That's the same, September 2014. That's the same time I got my testicle hit. I started really young, and I became, the more I speak to people on the internet, the more. What I mean by speak, because I wasn't able to receive that this type of interaction in person from people. They kept it this. They were very distant from me, among themselves. Obviously, I was isolated, but to know that I had a teacher who behaved this way really shows how scary human beings can be. That is scary. Knowing that this person speaks, they speak English and they're bilingual. They speak English and Spanish, and they know how to hide information from you completely, knowing that you don't speak Spanish. So she took advantage of a little kid. She didn't care that I was there, but then again, she treated me horrible. This teacher. You think she'll do that to a different child? Nope. Me specifically. I don't. When she wanted pity from the class, you think she did this to someone other kid in the class? No. I don't see no other kid in the class being treated this way by Miss Quinones. Only me. What's so special about me that Miss Quinones needs to act pitiful? Oh, he always lies. He doesn't do his work, his homework. He lies, and the class is in it. What kind of crappy behavior is this? What the hell is this? I've never seen behavior like this before. I've never seen a whole entire class, interested in telling teacher, yeah, he always lied. But I've seen this, and what I did seen when I was in first grade is a whole entire class laughing at me, sticking their tongue out when they got me, expelled from school, and then I came back. Right, I came back, and they laughed at me. They saw me in the auditorium. They stick their tongues, laugh down. They speak down to me. Even the teacher look at me like there's something. The teacher, Miss Ferry, she looked at me like there's something wrong with me. And then to know that I'm an adult and I've been, not only that, to still experience this as an adult, this behavior still exists. I graduated school June 2012, when I'm an adult. At that time, I was almost going on to 20 years old. Yeah, 20 years old, graduating high school because of the way I was treated in elementary school. I got left back twice. To know that this behavior still exists, that I feel that the people don't want to hire me. I feel not wanted. Had to say, I feel like this is not my home. Like I'm being excluded. I don't have, Earth is not my home then. I'm not supposed to live on planet Earth because of the way people think about me. So should I live in a different planet away from human beings? Is that it? Would the governments allow something like that? It does. Nope, they wouldn't allow that. I live in this planet. I have to learn, right? They're saying, oh, you have to learn to get along with people. But do the people get along with me? Why is it that they all have an attitude, and their attitude is affecting me from having income? That's why this behavior still exists, and this behavior does not go away, right? This shows me the treatment. This treatment, right, that I receive from all people. Though someone would say, "Oh, this is a hive mind," and I say artificial mind. We all think alike, and when they think, these people who think alike, they also use the same logic that is fake logic. They use the same logic, words, all alike. They also speak alike. They speak the same way towards me. And it's not just me, it's also you too. They also, it tells me how I'm being governed as a human being. And this is not good because the way people behave affects my living conditions, and it affects them how much money I have in my pockets or not. This is not looking good for me. Not at all. Very troublesome. So that's why I would go in the past, and that's how I started when I was in Florida. I think I just randomly started talking about artificial intelligence and the way people behave. I had to experience it first. There is a criteria, you know, and this is what triggered me to start talking about artificial intelligence. This is the way I was treated. I'm 31 years old and I still cannot successfully get a job, no matter how many times I apply. And I also have a college degree, and I still can't get a job, and I'm still being disrespected by people when I have a college degree and when I'm a civilized person. I don't have no criminal records, no criminal record whatsoever, and I'm being treated this way. I can't even live. Everybody that I was close to got removed. My mom got removed. She got removed. Right? I came back to New York City, March 25th, 2018, with my mom and sister. We was living in Florida for, 5 years, since September 7th, 2012, all the way till March 24th, 2018. 5 years and 6 months. 5 years and 6 months. This also, and there's a time we was living in Tampa, Florida, from October 2nd, 2014, all the way till I believe March 9th or so of 2015, and nothing works. All the jobs I apply for, nothing works. Everything is ineffective, except for I was self-employed, but I was sabotaged. People were on the internet were they all ganged up on me and got my website permanently banned for life. And my family wants me on SSI for life, even though I graduated from community college last year. So this shows that there is something completely wrong with the way people behave. And I started understanding it. The more experience, the more I also adjust. Someone say, "Oh, someone on the social anxiety support community that I gave my email to was talking quite creepy." This is one of the reasons why I don't give my emails out. But he's not talking like a human. He was missing human features. Now, why I say missing human features, or you could say not talking like a human slash missing human features, is because he's telling me that the AI he believed that he's talking like he understands, and he's saying to me, "Oh, the AI is gonna adjust to everything you do, gonna get used to what you say and what you do." So that means that I'm supposed to be in the same category, completely jobless, can't get no partner, can't get no income, so I should live in the streets. That's what I should do for the rest of my life. Being exposed to danger, knowing that there's people, right? walking back and forth when I'm sleeping, and they can do anything to me, and I won't have a place where I can take a shower. I might end up, getting infections. So he can. So the gentleman who's talking to me, right? He can have his own place. He can, get a. He can be able to get a job. He could be able to eat food and take a shower and sleep. Well, I am not allowed to. So what gives him the authority to talk that way when he doesn't even know how to govern himself? He's not self-governed. He had to depend on other human beings. So since he received, since he have, how can I put it? He- the way this person, there was a person on no, in real life who disrespected me. And yet he's a shelter job specialist, and he said to me, something's wrong with my email, that people won't respect me. When my email, it's just, it's not even it's not, it's no curse word or anything. It's just regular email. But anyway, the way the way to behave, the way this person behave, right, online, he speaks like he doesn't have no manners for me as a human being. Like he's not the way he doesn't speak like a human being. He's telling me that the program is gonna adjust. So I should I should live in the streets then for the rest of my life, as I said earlier, and I should not be able to never show interest in getting a job. I should just quit doing that and accept how people think about me for the rest of my life. Accept the way they behave and the way they think about me, so I can end up just dying on the streets. The only time when people would care, their artificial minds start loosening up and it becomes more human. There's a certain percentage of human mind is in usage because the program can release that some of it, and they care because they see my body in the streets. That's it. That's when they care. And it's not just me, it's other people too. That's when they start caring. Oh, someone should have been there and helped, and that's the artificial mind working. So it seems that the artificial intelligence starts early. That's why I started going on the internet and talked about school. Started early, and it did started early with me. Started when I was in what, kindergarten, all the way till now. All right, so this is it for this video.